Hi, everybody. So I thought today I would, I'm feeling kind of inspired. So I thought it might be fun to make a video kind of showing uh, what what happens when I feel inspired, I guess. So basically, what happens is I find something that inspires me to create a whole bunch of something else. And um, last night I went to, I never go to Michael's hardly anymore because I get upset with them about their coupon situation. It seems like they're kind of misleading, and it sort of bugs me when I have a coupon that says, 50% off one regular price item. So I go to buy the gallon size of the glue, the Elmer's like glue all, and they say, well, you can't use it on that because that's an everyday low price item. So I just got a little pissed off about that one day, about a month and a half ago, and decided, okay, I'm not going to Michael's anymore. But anyways, I picked up crocheting again. So since it's coming into winter and I'm feeling like crocheting anyway, so I thought, well, check out their yarn, and I did have a 25% off your whole purchase coupon. So I thought, well, they probably have some yarn on sale. I can pick some up cheap. Anyway, so it's there. And while I was there, I thought, okay, I'm running low on brads. So they had buy one, get one 50% off. And then I hoped that I would also get 25% off of that. So I picked up some brads. But while I was looking at the brads, and I mean, I guess maybe I could do some kind of haul video sometime, and that might be fun. But anyway, while I was there, I just happened to look at a display, and they had these little tags, these little stringed tags that I thought were kind of cool because, well, I like paper, and I use a lot of little paper tags in my journals and those little cluster things that I make, and I usually get them at Staples, but and then I coffee dye them. So I have been putting those together lately and coffee dyeing them to just have on hand. And also, I had this, all of these little, they're just little pieces of coffee dye paper that I had stamped with the little like label shapes like a year and a half ago. Anyway, and so this is the smallest merchandise tag that I have. But they had the little teeny tiny ones. So I sat down today and I was gonna, they just inspired me. I don't know. Anyway. But they're stark white, and I'm not into stark white at all. So I thought, well, I should coffee or tea dye those. But then I thought, geez, to set up a whole thing to do that is pointless. So anyway, I wound up just stamping them with a little bit of Distress ink and just kind of rubbing them because they're sort of shiny. So I just rubbed them a little bit and took the whiteness off. Anyway, so that kind of got me going, and I realized that I'm running low on like tags that would be considered a tag and not just like a piece of paper, I guess. I don't know what you would call it, but well, I'll just show you what I mean. So these are what I would call a tag, right? With a string or a hole in it or whatever. And okay, I say I'm running low, but I'll show you. This is what I'm working with. This is what I'm working with for tags. So I know, it's a lot. But a lot of them aren't extremely usable because for inside of junk journals because they're kind of thick. So anyway, coffee dyed a whole bunch of stuff about a week ago, and a lot of it was watercolor paper, heavy watercolor paper. And so I took some of that and cut it down into basically the same size, and made some tags. So, and these I think need some embellishment. And so that, because I like to just kind of, when I'm putting the journals together and like actually filling them with tags and bits and pieces, and decorating them or embellishing them, I guess. I like to just grab. I don't like to put together tags as I'm going. I like to have them all prepared so that I can just choose what I want to go in the book. And that's just how I work better. And I like to have lots of options. So anyway, anytime I have any kind of paper from wherever, if it's in decent shape, I'll keep it. And I have gold paint on my hands. I was painting some flowers that I had gessoed. I get sidetracked easily, sorry. So anyway, so I have all these different sizes and shapes of these just kind of blank tags that I think, and I use a lot of blank ones in the books too, but I think these could work to embellish. I probably could use some smaller ones with some embellishment on them, so maybe I'll cut some of these down or something, or just cut up more and make more. So these are also some that I made using a time card. These are coffee dyed, and I put a why do I always forget the names of things? An eyelet in these, and they're actually like a little pocket that could be inserted in a pocket or whatever. And some pretty large ones that I made a long time ago, and these are sprayed with some kind of metallic spray, not coffee dyed, believe it or not. And just a couple of big giant ones that are made out of coffee dyed paper and with some stitching on them. Anyway, those are giant. So I started pulling out. Oh, and then yesterday I had taken this whole container from. I like to use tea for dyeing sometimes, and over the summer, I had done some tea dyeing, and I just set the spent tea bags in like a bowl out on the back porch, and by pain of death, anybody threw them away. But anyway, so they were all dry, and I happened to be putting something out in the recycling, and I saw that bowl sitting there, and I went, oh my gosh. So anyway, I tore apart all those tea bags, and I had to save the little tags from the tea bags, so I have those too, so those are useful. Anyway, so I thought I'd use some of this somehow. My idea was to pull out my sewing machine and just kind of stitch some of this paper onto these, but I think pulling out my sewing machine and doing that on a video is a little bit much, so I would take some creative placement of the camera, and I'm not into doing that right now. I believe it or not, I don't have a lot of space. It's mostly just because it's full of stuff. Anyway, so I pulled out my tray of just random small bits, and then here's the other thing. So I was running low on little shapes like this, so I got out the Scan and Cut the other night and cut out a whole bunch of little shapes like that. And I just happened to be looking through the built-in cut files on the machine itself, because I never really looked at them before, and found some kind of cool little like flourishes and stuff. So I cut some of those out. And my mats are getting really old, and they're not very sticky, so I have to like tape everything down, and I even use a glue stick and kind of make it stick. I did realize though, if I washed them with hot water, that it kind of re-energized the stickiness, so that sort of helped. Anyway, good tip there. But yeah, so I have all these little flourishes, and of course they were bright white watercolor paper, so then I had to coffee dye them. Some hearts. This is actually like a 2-part cut file, so that goes on there. Oh, and I set the little flourishes when I was drying these in the oven on top of the hearts, so I got some little cute little designs on the hearts. And then there was these little these little things, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so I thought these would be kind of cool to use on some tags somehow. So there's that, and so I might use some of those on these tags. And then I've got the, tub full of cut up bits of fabric and lace and ribbon and trims and some scraps of twine and string and stuff like that. This is some cheesecloth that I dyed with those crystals that I use. Anyway, what are those called? The walnut ink crystals. I love using that in place of coffee dyeing because it's just really easy. You just sprinkle some on, spray it with water, and you're in business. Although it is water soluble, so when it dries, it's not permanent. Just FYI, if you ever use that. It will move if you're going to coat something like the journals that I make with the crackle paste finish. I use that on them after the crackle finish has dried. Anyway, but then when I go to clear coat them, that ink does move. So anyway, and then I have some just pieces of like eyelash trim. This is really yarn, I guess. I don't know. We call it eyelash trim, but so some different colors of that. And some more fabric. Anyway, so I just thought I would kind of put together some tags and talk to you guys while I'm doing that. Get to know me a little bit, I guess. Oh, one other thing. So I went to a thrift store the other day, and something I really like to do on my day off is thrift storing. So I had put together this is just a pencil case. I save all of this kind of stuff because they're useful. Anyway, so these are just makeup wedges that I had kind of sliced vertically, so they're real flat. And I found a bunch of chalk ink refills. So the color box chalk. What do you call them? You know what I mean. So, and I usually don't really like chalk ink, but I picked that up because all of those plus a whole bunch of other stuff was $3.99, so I bought them. Anyway, but I kind of like the colors. I like the way that they I like the way they look. So vintagey. Anyway, so I didn't have the ink pad, so to begin with, so I thought, okay, I can use this. Anyway, and I had made this with the intention of mixing my own pigment inks with watercolor and glycerin, different colors and stuff, which I did do, but believe me, I don't really need any more pigment inks. I have plenty. I love those for embossing. Anyway, so I just put out the different chalk inks on here, so I thought I could use some of those and stamp some images on these little tags, and gives me another reason to use my peg stamps. So I just pulled out like the teeny tiniest ones that I have because those are teeny tiny, right? So look, there's a little teeny little heart, just a little heart. That's actually a leaf, but it kind of looks like a heart. And some little flowers, and there's a bee, a little dragonfly. Anyway, so I thought I would do that. And I'm going to use the Memento ink and some of this chalk ink. So I'm going to stamp some of those real quick. Um, and I don't know if you guys ever use these, but there's a register line on where this would be, so you know how to position it um, when you're using them. Anyway, so, oops, that just looks so good. I'm not liking that so much. Yeah, I think those look cute. See? Super cute. The teeniest little stamps. Let's see how the chalk ink works on this. Surface of these is a little bit slick, so I'm going to test that on some paper. Oh yeah, that's going to work. Oh cool. Takes a little while for it to dry, I think. You know, little guy. Oops. Yeah, I like that. Let's do a couple of leaves. Is this exciting? Is this exciting or what? I don't know if that really looks like a leaf or not. I guess it does. Let's do the little bee. What color? How about this? It's like a ochre. Oops. Yeah. Those have a lot of ink on them, so I think I went a little crazy and overfilled them a little bit, but oh well. This is just kind of a little like swirly, sort of cool design. I don't know. I like it. So if you've ever bought any of those stamps from Peg Stamps, it's pegstamps.com. They sell them they sell them individually, but they also sell them in these little sets, little collections. And so you usually get like 4 or 5 in a set, and it's the best way to buy them because they give you a price break in those little sets. So I think I have maybe, I don't know, I think I got like 10 sets or something. And I tried to buy them where there was obviously wouldn't be any duplicates. I do like the peg stamps though. I have to remember to use them though. Like, I always forget that I have them. Oh, I like that little flower. It's cute. See? So cute. So cute. I always wonder about stuff like this. Like, how do they get that string on there? Is there someone who they pay to just put those strings on all day? I mean, I bought 100 of these things for $1.50. Or no, yeah, I think 100 for $1.50. I can't imagine it's very cost effective to pay somebody to do that. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just saying. I say that a lot. Yeah, I like this little flower. Anyway, so I could probably do this all day, but I won't bore you guys with that. So Anyway, I thought those are kind of cute. Move that. Um, actually shipped a journal yesterday to a repeat customer in Australia, which is kind of cool. It makes me feel good. Like, you know, somebody all the way down under likes my journals. So that made me happy. Thank you, Tina. Okay. So I'm just going to start with one of these little tiny ones. And this is some obviously coffee dyed fabric that I did a long time ago. So I just try to think about the thickness here. You know, like I really want to keep these for using in journals. So, you know, I really want to be aware of the thickness of these. So I cut out a bunch of these little flowers out of a paper bag. This is really super thick paper bag. I think I'm going to ink these. I don't know. Let me know, you guys, if you think this is completely boring. But, you know, honestly, these are the kind of things that I like to watch on YouTube. So I thought, well, if I enjoy it, then other people probably will too. So, done. Actually, I probably would ink the edges of this too. One down. So let's try, and I did the corners on most of these. Some of them I haven't, but this thing is starting to wear out. It's kind of shredding a little bit. I want to use a piece of this tea bag. It's making me crazy. And I will put an eyelet in there eventually. And keeping this stuff like on a roll or whatever, impossible. Like it's not gonna happen. So I just cut off chunks of it and just use it off of the chunk, basically. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I want to try to use up these flowers I cut out with my, you know, just a die cut deal. I want to try to use these up. So let's put a little bee on there. Kind of wrap the string around behind that flower. And that'll anchor it on there. There we go. There. So cute. And this shape I really like, the ticket shape, oversized ticket. And as I'm doing this, like I'm thinking of all kinds of different ways that I can embellish tags, and you know, just all these ideas just run rampant through my brain, and so I have a tendency to kind of flit from one project to another. But once I get focused on doing something, I have a tendency to crank out quite a bit. I've always loved tedious work, tedious tasks. I used to work for a company that made parts for computers, like um, processors and stuff like that. And I loved it. I worked in a clean room inspecting parts, and it was great. It was great, right up my alley. So I'm gonna off-center that a little bit, and use another one of these little guys. There's a little leaf on there, and again, I'm gonna tuck this behind the flower. And I always try to make sure that one staple is gonna hold the whole thing together. I just think it's ugly when there's a whole bunch of staples, I mean, one is okay, but anyway, so I like that one. I have a really hard time with these. I don't know. I guess because they kind of are so thick, but maybe I'll get over that. Who knows? I really want to put something on these. I like to sew this though. I really like to stitch this on here. Maybe one of these guys. I'm gonna fold this up like that. There we go. And then I don't have enough options. For stuff to use. Oh, you know what? Let me put one of these little guys on there. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Okay, I think that's good actually. And then I can like hot glue a little flower or something on there. Yeah. Somebody commented that I'm so organized on another video, and I thought that was pretty funny because I don't feel organized. Although I am constantly organizing things, so maybe I am. So I like that one. It turned out pretty cute, and it's not real thick. It's pretty thin, so that'll work out pretty well. Let's see. I really like this. This fabric. It's like embroidered, and then see, it's like embroidered, and then I coffee dyed it or tea dyed it. I think it's coffee. Just stick it in coffee. It'll be fine. You'll see. Just stick it in some coffee. Try and find something interesting to put on there. That little guy. A piece of film strip behind there. I hate that thing on there. I hate that thing on there. Okay. That's it. And then I will hot glue a button on there. Only thing about using buttons is obviously it adds a lot of bulk, and I don't know, bulk's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just when there's too much bulk, then that's all it is. It's just bulk, and then you can't put as much stuff in your book. So hot glue strings. Anyway, there's another one. I thought that one turned out pretty cute. So let's do a little teeny one. Actually, I was thinking one of these and then fold it. Yeah. A little piece of lace. And one of these guys, the tea bags. Yeah. There we go. Just a little booklet, I guess. All right, so that was pretty fun. I'm just going to keep going and make a whole bunch of these. Nothing else to do, right? But I will post some pictures on Instagram later on today, maybe. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Sammy's Jammies on there, and I'll put that in the description on this video, so you can find me on Instagram. And then I'm also on Facebook, but I'm not sure how much I want to associate my Facebook with YouTube and Instagram, even though, I mean, it is already. I just don't know if I want to like direct link it, because it's my like personal Facebook, and sometimes I say stuff on there or post things that might not be like as innocent as you might think I am. Anyway, I don't really care. I honestly don't care. I just think that sometimes people have judgments about things like that. Who knows? Anyway, but I just am who I am, and I do what I want. And you know, if you don't like it, that's fine. Anyway, well, thank you for watching, and I really appreciate anybody who has actually subscribed to my channel. You have no idea how happy that makes me. Um, Unexpected. Not that there's tons or anything, but hey, there's enough to where I feel like at least a couple people might watch this. So yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think about this, my process, and if you like it, thumbs up. All right. Have a good day, you guys.